The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the show. The A-Train Anthony Harbin is our producer today. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street, Charleston. Tony having a Samuelson and Lynn trunk show, at the store this Friday, 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. Select items, buy one, get 20% off, buy two, get 25% off, and buy three items, get up to 30% off. Ralphie Q will be on hand as well. Also, check out great savings on over 50 styles of Lynn's belts, from casual to dress. Buy one at 20% off, two for 25%, and three at 30% off. For more, visit bestmastertaylor.com or check out Tony's Facebook page. Welcome to the show. Sunny and 75 in the capital city. Going to keep saying it until it's true. Coming up, you may have seen the news from the latest couple days out of the city of Nitro. The city has entered into an agreement with West Virginia American Water to sell the Nitro regional wastewater utility, including the sewer plant. The deal has been approved by the State Public Service Commission. So what does this mean for residents of Nitro? What does it mean, if anything, to your service or your bill? I'm going to talk to Nitro Mayor Dave Casebolt about that coming up. Also, the bikes are coming back to Charleston in June. USA Cycling Pro Road National Championships. Tim Brady from the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau is going to join us and talk about that and the need for volunteers. And a busy couple weeks here in Charleston with the girls' state basketball tournament getting underway next week and the boys the following week. We'll talk to Tim about all that. Also today is crossover day at the legislature. The Huntley and Brinkley of Metro News, Dave Wilson, TJ Meadows, are there. We'll join them coming up around 9:55 or so this morning. And we'll also get to your calls and texts, too. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We'll welcome now to the show West Virginia Secretary of State Kris Warner. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. I thought you had lost it for a minute talking about the sunny weather outside. But,
it's something I started because of this winter. I kept saying when it was like 5 degrees and it was icy, I said, it's sunny and 75. And now I've had people doing hashtag sunny and 75. Eventually, Secretary, we will get there. It will be sunny and 70. Okay. By this weekend, we're going to be 80, they tell us. Maybe breaking records Friday and Saturday. But I don't know about the sunshine.
I'm on my way to Morgantown, and it's cloudy, overcast, and anything but sunny and 75. But I'm with you, man. We'll start.
But the
temperatures, sunny and 75.
The temperatures are okay. I mean, it could be a lot worse. Secretary, I want to talk about an event that you have going on tomorrow in the House chamber. As you said, you're on your way to Morgantown now. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you got something going on tomorrow at the Capitol. It's the John Lewis National Youth Leadership Award, and 2 young West Virginians are getting that award. Talk about it.
You know, I think it's really neat. We've got 2 young people, Braden Williamson, who's a country recording artist, Nashville recording artist, and Delegate Josh Holstein. Interestingly enough, there are only 31 recipients of this award, and 2 of them are from right here in West Virginia, down in your neck of the country, L.A. there, the Logan area. And then Josh Holstein, of course, is from Boone County. So both from coal mining families, both hardworking and getting recognized, before the age of 25. That's one of the requirements. You either have to be 25 or younger for this award. Josh Holstein's 24 years of age, and Braden is 23 years of age. So we're the John Lewis Youth Award, Youth Leadership Award, is named after Congressman John Lewis from the 5th District in Georgia. He was one of the original Freedom Riders, when it came to integration back in 1961. So he's obviously deceased, and this award now carries on and remembers his efforts and those that receive the award, like Josh and Braden.
And for Josh Holstein, of course, he was a very young when he was elected to the West Virginia House of Delegates. Also, he is the state Republican Party chair. And I've interviewed and I've known Josh Holstein for a number of years. I've had him on both my shows. I mean, he's got to be, I would think, one of the youngest Republican or one of the youngest party leaders, Democrat or Republican, in the entire nation, I would think, at that age.
He is the youngest state chairman in the nation of a major political party, and was elected to the West Virginia legislature at the age of 19. So, and now serves on just some really important committees, judiciary. I know he serves on energy and public works, and then technology and infrastructure. So he's got quite a full plate in front of him at such a young age, but we're really impressed with what he's been able to do and being recognized at a national level like this.
And Braden Williamson, and because you mentioned L.A., everything's got a Logan connection. Braden Williamson is from Logan. Fun fact, Secretary, I graduated high school with his mother.
Teresa?
Teresa. So there's that.
Went down and had the opportunity to meet her and be there at the Coalfield Jamboree Theater when I got a chance to hear Braden. Since then, we've had a couple of events, and Braden's been able to play those. But they're just great people, and Braden's dad, is a coal miner.
Yeah. Raymond.
And, they're just great people, and really impressed with, what Braden's been able to do, serving on the Board of Governors at Southern West Virginia Community and Tech. He's a business administration major. He also has a very full plate with all of his leadership positions, and at the same time making a name for himself on the national stage with his guitar and singing abilities. Yeah, he's a
great young man. So you said you're heading to Morgantown. What's going on in Morgantown today?
We've got a voter registration drive. And by the way, speaking of voter registration drives, that's how Josh Holstein, one of the very first things he did as far as being civically engaged was registering voters to, at an early age. So we're doing that today. This will be our 35th high school that I've been in the last year. This will make the 55th high school that the staff has been in the last year. We've registered just over 17,000 17, 18, and 19-year-olds in the last year, and that represents more than 42% of all newly registered voters in West Virginia last year. So we're proud of the effort our office takes on to make sure that we get those students registered. And the school also has an opportunity to earn the Jennings Randolph Award if they register more than 75% of the class.
Talking with West Virginia Secretary of State Kris Warner. Secretary, before I know you're on a tight schedule, but before we let you go, news was made a couple of weeks ago that the Trump administration had asked states to turn over data as it relates to voter registration. Your office and some other states have said, quite frankly, that violates your state law. Now comes news that your office and others will be sued by the Trump administration. I know you are limited in what you can say, but are there any updates at this time?
I don't believe there's any updates. We still haven't been served, Dave. I mean, I know we read it in the news, but we haven't been served. As of 15 minutes ago when I spoke with the office. So it is now, I guess, threatened litigation or pending litigation, and we will reserve comment now and wait for our attorneys to lay out our case. We're very confident in the position that we have. I'd love to talk more about it, but just can't do that at this point.
I understand. Be safe out there. West Virginia Secretary of State Kris Warner, appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Dave, thank you for having me on this morning.
Absolutely. It's 9:17. If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, a great opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan, including room, board, tuition, and fees. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. Deadline is May 3rd. Details available at WVMetroNews.com. That's where you got to go to apply, WVMetroNews.com. But the deadline is May 3rd. And again, it's all brought to you by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. WVMetroNews.com. Simply click on that Apply Now button. And the deadline to fill out the application, though, is May 3rd. Bigley, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-500. Let me just say this in the follow-up to the interview with Secretary Warner. I saw a lot of chatter, online, and kind of catch everybody up. The Trump administration has asked several states, actually, I think they put out and asked all the states, West Virginia being one, that they want voter information turned over to the government. Secretary Warner, who is a Republican, strong Trump supporter, was involved in the Trump campaign years ago, first campaign I think it was, former Republican Party chair, said no. It's a violation of West Virginia state law. And when you read the comments online from people saying, well, what has he got to hide? Or, well, I don't have anything to hide. Well, the thing is, it's a violation of West Virginia state code. And I applaud editorial comment. I applaud Secretary Warner, and I applaud any of the other secretaries of state, Republican or Democrat around the country, that are just saying, no, this is not any business of the federal government. And it takes a lot of fortitude. Leave it at that. I was going to say something else, but I got in trouble for making one of those statements on the air one time. It takes a lot of what to say no and to follow the law. And for that, I appreciate Secretary of State Kris Warner. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back a little bit later on, Nitro Mayor Dave Casebolt is going to join us about this partnership with West Virginia American Water. And when we come back after the break, Tim Brady from the Charleston CVB joins us in studio. We'll take a break and be back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you. When it comes to law, size matters. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Get ready for the March state basketball tournaments with Metro News TV. Download for live games, highlights, and recaps, plus episodes of our exclusive interview series, State of Minds, and your favorite daily programs right on your smart TV or streaming device. Get more information at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Metro News Television is powered by the WV Department of Tourism, Dan Cava GMC, the WVHTC Foundation, and WVU Medicine.
Welcome back to the show, 921, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Visit bridgevalley.edu. Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Your career starts here. Let's bring in our good friend Tim Brady now from the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Dave, good morning. Thanks for having me
again.
Thank
you for being here. The dates are set June the 16th to the 21st, and the bikes are coming back.
Yep. USA Cycling Pro Road National Championships return to Charleston, as you said. June 16th to the 21st. We're excited. It also gives us an opportunity to incorporate some celebration and festivities for both West Virginia Day and Juneteenth this year. So a lot more community engagement as a part of the event this year. But, you know, this event has become such a huge hit in Charleston. People have really embraced this event, and we're really excited to be working on it and bringing it back here in 2026.
Let's take people back the last couple of years about the whole way. I mean, it's an interesting story, the way that Charleston came to acquire this event, and you were part of it, along with the mayor's administration and others. Talk about how we got here.
Yeah, and I will say just off the top, this doesn't happen without the support of Mayor Goodwin and her staff, because this it's a big event for our city, but it's also a heavy lift for our city and its city departments. But the Reader's Digest version, Dave, is that several years ago, coming out of COVID, USA Table Tennis was looking for a destination to host their Junior Pan Am Games, and we brought them in on a just they didn't know us, and they came in and they had a great experience at the Coliseum. Through that, we were able to develop a relationship with USA Volleyball. We brought a men's continental championship, Olympic teams from 8 countries competing here in Charleston for an event. And it was that relationship with USA Volleyball that led us to USA Cycling, who was looking for a destination for this event. The tourism industry and as a whole, and especially this sports industry with the USA's governing bodies, they're mostly housed in Colorado Springs. They all know each other, so they talk. So when they come to a destination and they have a great experience, they tell each other, hey, listen, we had a great experience in Charleston. You should give them a shot. So all of that has sort of led to, and then this year now we're bringing in USA Gymnastics a few days after the cycling race ends. So, all of these relationships matter. They build. They have great experiences in Charleston, and it leads to bigger and better things. And beyond just that, we're in talks now with USA Cycling for additional and more events in the future because they really love it here.
Talk about the need, Tim, for volunteers, because this doesn't happen without a lot of volunteers. Yeah,
I said it doesn't happen without the full support of the mayor's office in the city of Charleston, and that's absolutely true. But it also doesn't happen without the engagement of a whole lot of volunteers in our community. We estimate somewhere between 300 and 350 volunteers are what we'll need. You can sign up as a volunteer if you go to charlestonwv.com and navigate to our Bike City page from our homepage. But the volunteers, it's not a hard job, but it's an important job. The volunteers are there to serve as course they serve as course marshals. That's the first time your producer's ever been in my ear. It really threw me off. I thought I was having a stroke.
It throws me off,
too.
They
serve as course marshals, right? So they are posted at intersections and crosswalks to make sure that spectators are not going out on the course during the race. And that keeps both the spectator and the competitor safe in that regard. So it's, like I said, it's not a hard job, but it's a really important job. And again, you can sign up by going to charlestonwv.com.
And what are some of the jobs? I mean, you talked about it just a little bit there, but break it down. If somebody says, I want to be involved in this, where might you put me?
So
I know what you would put me as a traffic barrier. If a car breaks through, you stand in front of it. But I mean, what would
so you're going to be posted around the course at different intersections and crosswalks. You're going to have a whistle, and your job is to, as you see the race approaching, you blow the whistle to let people know, hey, the riders are coming through. Don't go out onto the course. I mean, it's really that simple. There's another subset of volunteers that have to do with anti-doping, and they have to post-race follow some of the athletes around so that they can take their post-race required drug test. But by and large, most of the volunteers are literally standing on the course and blowing a whistle when the race is coming through to alert people that it's not safe to cross the street at that moment. It's honestly, Dave, it's that simple. Even you could do it.
Even it's so simple. Even a Dave could do it.
That's right.
One of the 15 Daves that we have here in the company. Yeah. Again, we're talking with Tim Brady from the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau of the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Season will be here before you know it. Get your season tickets, merchandise, and more at dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Talk about, Tim, what this event has meant to the region.
It's meant a lot, both in just the general economic impact of the event each year, but beyond that, I think what we're seeing and what we sort of latched onto very early in the year one is that this is an opportunity to grow cycling overall in not only Kanawha County, but in the region. Getting more kids on bikes, getting more folks out and riding, establishing more trails, more places for people to ride. I heard you say that Dave Casebolt was going to be on later in the show. What Nitro has done out at Ridenour Lake just some really great biking and hiking trails at Ridenhour Lake. And what we want to do now is we want to look at all of these. You've got Meeks Mountain out in Putnam County. Yeah. You've got Ridenhour Lake. You've got, Kanawha State Forest. You've got all kinds of great gravel riding up at the Elk River Trail State Park and in that area. We want to connect all of that. We're working now. It's a 2-year process to create a really networked series of trails and map them all and brand Charleston as a cycling destination for people to come, stay in the city, enjoy our food, enjoy our breweries, enjoy our nightlife. But in the day, they're out and they're riding all these different places with Charleston as the hub. So we're mapping trails in a 4-county region. So all of this, USA Cycling and the enthusiasm for the race and for cycling in general is leading us to building a bigger outdoor recreation brand centered around cycling that lasts long beyond the 5-year contract of the race. It's also led us to the thought, and we're working with USA Cycling to spin the night races, the Criterium races, off into an annual series that's hosted here in Charleston every year. So every year, beyond just pro roads, you'll have an annual championship event held in Charleston that we own. There's a purse. We attract riders from all over the country to come and race. And again, that's a legacy event that outlasts just the 5-year contract of Pro Road Nationals.
Again, we're talking with Tim Brady, and of course, these people that come to watch this, these people, all the teams, I mean, there may be one cyclist, but who knows how many people he or she has with them, when they come in.
Yep.
Those people go to restaurants.
That's right.
People stay in hotels. They go to shops. Talk about the economic impact of that.
Oh, sure. I mean, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 to $8 million economic impact over the course of the event. These are folks that are coming in, as you said, they're not just staying here, but they're shopping, they're eating, they're out, they're doing things in the community. And it's really rewarding. Like, Criterium nights are my favorites. I mean, that's the party night, right? We've got music and activity in Slack Plaza. Brewers Row is hopping. But even like Steve and Jenny from V100 were posted up at the corner of Courier and Hale Street last year on a corner for the Criteriums and drew a big crowd there, big crowds at the start-finish line, some other spots. To just walk the course and see these crowds of people out cheering these athletes on and being engaged with this race, it's so rewarding and so exciting for me to see because it tells us that we did something right when we brought this race in. Anecdotally, I can go on and on about the nights of the Criterium and records that were set at places like Black Sheep and Fife Street and other restaurants downtown, setting single day records, single night records. That's what it's all about. Yeah, it's about the competition and it's about getting eyeballs on it and, all the different media that we have from around the world that come in to watch the race. But it's also about these local businesses that benefit from us bringing these events in.
And, for those that navigate the streets in downtown Charleston during this, and you can't put on an event like this and think there's not going to be a certain amount of inconvenience for a few days. But I think you guys do a great job of giving people plenty of notice. Hey, we're coming this way. It's all over all of our stations. It's all over other forms of media as well. So, just plan. I mean,
that's right.
It's June.
Yeah,
so
June 16th to the 21st, and I've said repeatedly, and we saw it come to fruition in year one, and last year it was even levels above. But nobody's trapped in their house at any point. You can go anywhere you want to go in the city of Charleston if you give yourself an extra 15 to 20 minutes. That's my standard line, and I will hold that line until somebody proves me wrong, because that is literally the only inconvenience that you might have if you're trying to get somewhere. Just build in a little extra time, because in partnership with the Charleston Police Department, another huge partner in this that we could not do this without, Oldham and Hazlitt and all those guys do such a great job. Nothing's shut down. The roads might be closed, but you can get where you need to go if you just give yourself a little extra time.
And again, the economic impact of this thing is just, it all goes back to that for me.
Yeah, sure.
I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
It all goes back to that and what it means to the area. Plus, people, and you're in the tourism business, CVB, you know this, people that go somewhere, and just think about this for our listeners, think about this if you've had a good experience. If you're going to the beach or you're going to the mountains or wherever you may be going skiing, you go somewhere and you have a good time and you're treated well, and when people come to Charleston and West Virginia in general, they're treated well, you're going to go back, and it goes back to what you talked about the ultimate networking is still
word of mouth.
It's still word
That's
of mouth.
right.
No matter what's out there, it's still, they're going to go back and they tell people. And so when they have these good experiences, they go back and they tell people, and the way that these people were treated, you're going to get more and more of this stuff.
The folks that are here are going to come back. We have an 85% return rate on visitation, and they're going to tell other people, and they're going to bring more people and encourage more people to come. So yeah, it's all about the experience. And the one other thing I would like to squeeze in here, we talk about economic impact, and that is critically important, and it's why we do what we do. But we also talk at the CVB about community impact. Multiple nonprofits benefited from this event last year. The CAMC Foundation benefited through a charitable ride that was a part of this. Mountaineer Food Bank benefited from this event last year. Big Brothers Big Sisters benefited from this event last year through a charitable event that they organized. And this year, we're going to bring all of those organizations back and also add KCHA to the roster. So these local nonprofits that do incredibly important work within our community, they have a platform to fundraise and raise awareness for their causes during this event too. And for me, yeah, economic impact is what it's all about at the end of the day. But if we can also make our community a better place, that to me is incredibly important.
And the timing of this thing, you said around West Virginia Day, around Juneteenth, which is a federal holiday, around all these things. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer that there's going to be some West Virginia Day stuff involved and some Juneteenth stuff involved in this. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much too soon,
right,
but
I got you.
we've had great conversations with some of the folks from Juneteenth Committee. Meeting later today, actually, with Charleston Montessori School to talk about Rolls on the River and how we can incorporate that into the event, because that would traditionally be held on West Virginia Day. So yeah, I mean, and that just, again, community impact, right? Like we're trying to help make our community a better place to live.
All right. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks here in Charleston. I mean, you would think about this event. This is in June, and of course, that'll kind of lead us into the regatta. You got that going on. You have Foam at the Dome this summer. You got all these big things going on. But over the next couple of weeks, the population of Charleston is going to grow a lot with the girls' state basketball tournament, which starts Tuesday. The boys are after that.
Yep.
Talk about that economic impact.
Yeah, I mean, just those two events, just those 2 weeks, that's a $10+ million economic impact to the city of Charleston. But this is, I'm gonna share this with you. Yes, we've got 2 weeks of high school basketball. By the way, we just came off of the West Virginia Youth Wrestling Association state championships this past weekend in the Winter Blues Farmers Market. You couldn't park within 3 blocks of the Coliseum on Saturday.
Oh, I know. Trust me. I was at the Marshall event Saturday night. Steve Hannibal and I emceed the Marshall University Quarterback Club event at Embassy Suites. And parking was a bit limited. My wife and I were able to find one. She saw it and we pulled right in. But there was a lot of people in Charleston on Saturday evening.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. So
exactly.
Looking at March, the West Virginia Music Educators Association, the All-State Concert, West Virginia State Science and Engineering Fair, Girls Basketball Championship, Boys Basketball Championships, Construction and Design Expo after that, WVDNR Archery and the Schools State Tournament, Charleston Youth Arts Juried Expedition, and the West Virginia Coal Show and Mining Symposium, all coming up at the Coliseum and Convention Center. We're looking at 90,000 plus attendees at events at the Coliseum and Convention Center in the month of March. So yeah, we talk about cycling, the events that bring big eyeballs, but they're driving business at the convention center every day.
There's always something going on every weekend in Charleston.
Yep.
I mean, and that's what I love, because even if it's not an event that's quote unquote open to the public, or it's just select people. I mean, not everybody's going to go to the Youth Wrestling Championship.
Not everybody's going to go to the Construction and Design Expo, right?
But there's always 2 and 3 things going on every weekend.
And all of those people are staying in hotels. All of those people are eating in restaurants. And Dave, there's your economic impact. And big shout out to Patrick Leahy and his team at the Coliseum and Convention Center. There are very, very few dark days in a month at that event. Those guys work their tails off, and they do a great job.
All right. Jim Brady from the Charleston Convention and Visitors Bureau. We'll be talking to you a lot over the next couple of months. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
We got 24 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're injured, visit forthepeople.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
Retirement isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. But are you really ready? I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people just like you turn confusion into confidence. Whether retirement is 5 years away or right around the corner, now is the time to make a smart plan. Let's make sure your retirement income lasts as long as you do. Call today or visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial. Retirement done right.
Securities offered through J.D. McCall Financial Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.D. McCall Advisors Incorporated.
Disaster strikes sometimes, but it doesn't have to be the end of the world. Rainbow Restoration of Kanawha and Putnam counties can take the worry and stress out of putting your home back together when disaster does strike. Whether it's fire or water damage, mold removal, or even full-service reconstruction, the trained professionals at Rainbow Restoration can help make it home again. Call 304-201-0101.
It's not the end of the world with Rainbow Restoration.
Frontier is joining Verizon. New Frontier and Verizon customers can get 6 months of 100% fiber internet on us up to 1 gig by bundling Verizon Mobile and Frontier Fiber. Plus, get 2 mobile lines for $50 per month on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Verizon store to switch. $25 per line after $60 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Eligible new Frontier Fiber plan required. Availability varies. Additional terms apply.
The state's premier outdoor sports show is back and bigger than ever. 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am returns to Island Park in Morgantown Saturday and Sunday. That's this week, March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors. Over 200 vendors all in one spot. Complete details, WVOutdoorsportshow.com, a WVRC media event. Quick text says, please consider the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association also as a fundraiser for the new shelter. He did say that. The problem with Tim was he used the abbreviation. And I didn't even catch a texter. I appreciate that. KCHA, they are going to be working with them this year, but I do appreciate the text. Jeff Jenkins has a story posted this morning, WVMetroNews.com. Yesterday, the city of Nitro entered into an agreement with West Virginia American Water to complete the sale of the Nitro Regional Wastewater Utility, including the sewer plant. Nitro Mayor Dave Casebolt joins us now to talk about it. Good morning, Mayor. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for being here. So what's the story here, Mayor?
Yeah, so yesterday we closed the deal with West Virginia American Water. We've been negotiating this for past 3.5 years for the sale of our Nitro Regional Wastewater Utility for $20 million. We had some bonds we had to pay off, so I think the total amount to Nitro is going to be about $14.2.
So what does this mean? Let me back up. How did you arrive at this? Why is this necessary in the city's opinion?
Well, I think it's something people need to understand. This wasn't a decision that was taken very lightly. In fact, it was discussed for many months on all the alternatives. What can we do with our sanitary board? Finally, we just come to the conclusion that we really didn't have any other option. We were dealing with a 70-year-old plant. 80% of our system is still combined stormwater and sewer that needs to be replaced. We got rising inflation costs, rising construction costs. It was just impractical to ask 4,000 customers to try to offset the tens of millions of dollars. We were estimating over $100 million of improvements that needed to be made to our system. So they voted unanimously to recommend to City Council for the sale of the utility, and then City Council voted on it, and it passed City Council. So the sale was completed yesterday.
Well, and I heard a comment I think that you did with our news team, and you may have said this actually in public when you said, "Look, rates are." I mean, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me on this, but you were. I think you said that rates were going to have to go up either way, whether we do it, we meaning Nitro, or whether the new company does it. Rates are going to have to go up to pay for these things.
So we were not sure that the sale was going through, and we had on last night's City Council agenda an ordinance to approve a 50% rate increase that would have started March the 1st. And what people need to understand is that 50% rate increase was just going to get us back to even, was just to give us operating capital to continue to run the utility. It was going to do a few small pump station improvements, but that was just going to get us back to even. In fact, the city of Nitro had to loan the utility $300,000 about 6 months ago just to keep its head above water. We were working with three employees short for the past several years. We was doing everything we could. We went through a very high inflationary period between our last rate increase was 2018. We went through a very high inflationary period after that. And our construction costs, for instance, we are now putting a stormwater line down Walker Street. The original estimate for that project was $1.8 million. When the project went out for bid, it came in at $4 million. So estimates, our construction costs were just exorbitant, and with a 4,000 customer base, we can't do it. And West Virginia American Water simply has the resources, their own construction crews, to do the improvements that are needed. In fact, they have pretty much pledged to invest $42 million into our system in the next 5 years, something we simply could not do.
Yeah, I was going to say $42 million that the city of Nitro didn't have.
Absolutely. I mean, we would have had to float bonds to do that, and then our rates would have been very, very high. In fact, the 50% increase that we were going to do last night at City Council was the first one for this year. We were going to have to do another 30% increase by the end of the year. So people's rates in Nitro were going up. It was just the reality of it.
Talking to Nitro Mayor Dave Casebolt, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Generations Ford of Hurricane. Great deals going on now on their selection of used vehicles. Shop and compare any used vehicle at generationsford.com. But if you need service, ask about their Works package and their pickup and delivery service, too. Check them out today just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. One destination for every generation. Generations Ford, see dealer for details. Okay, so I'm an average ratepayer, average customer in Nitro. What does this mean for me?
Well, an average ratepayer is going to see, for the first year, we negotiated a step-in increase. So the first year, they're going to see 70% of the full West Virginia American Water rate, which I believe is around $80. So an average customer will probably see around $56 bill. Now, don't hold me to these numbers.
Right? Yeah.
So around $56 a year. Then the second year, the second and third year, there will be increases every 6 months until we're at full rates in 3 years. Full West Virginia American Water rates in 3 years. Sewer rates in 3 years.
Mm-hmm. And so again, here's what I'm hearing from you is and the people in the city of Nitro, Mayor, is that city just couldn't afford to keep up at this pace. At the treatment facilities and everything else needed so much work that it seemed like a no-brainer. And West Virginia American Water has got the resources to do it.
It was actually absolutely a no-brainer. And I don't think we're going to be the first community to do this.
No, you're not.
I'm going to tell you why. I think everybody's starting to realize, and I think this is a problem that West Virginia has. You're putting out these contracts for these jobs that are $1 million jobs, and you're getting one bid on them. So you got several $1 million projects and one bid's coming in. That stormwater project that we're doing down Walker Street, we received one bid. So you don't have competitive bidding, which drives up your cost. I've had engineers tell me that they can bid the same jobs in surrounding states, and it's 20 to 30% lower because they have many people bidding on the jobs, numerous contractors bidding on the jobs, so they're able to do the jobs cheaper. And there's several reasons for it we could get into, but it's just expensive to do projects and to do these sewer projects.
I would be interested.
Stormwater projects.
Yeah, Mayor, and I'd be interested. And I don't know if you're the person to talk about this or not, but I would be interested in maybe talking to some groups and maybe contractors associations or whatever, some of these firms and some of these organizations, and say, why is it that we don't have more people that are bidding. Why do we not have more companies bidding on these jobs? And I mean, I don't know if it goes back to the fact that, West Virginia has the lowest workforce participation rate in America. Maybe that has something to do with it. But it would be interesting for somebody to come on the show, not necessarily a mayor, but someone to say, why are we not getting more companies to bid on these jobs?
Well, I'm going to give you my opinion.
Okay.
That I've recognized as mayor. Maybe other mayors would agree. Maybe they wouldn't agree. But the state tends to hold money back and then release it all at the same time. And what that does is that spreads jobs out all over the state, and then you have less contractors able to bid on jobs. One contractor's doing another job, one contractor's doing another job, where if the money was released sporadically, then you'd have more people bidding on the jobs. I forget how much money there last year before last, the state released at the same time, and all these stormwater projects, sewer projects, the money was released at the same time. So it makes it spreads out. We have limited contractors anyway, so it spreads out the amount that the contractor can do. He can't do 3 or 4 jobs at a time. So that's just my opinion.
That's just your opinion of one mayor.
Right.
But I have a feeling it's not just the opinion of one mayor, because I've heard it from other mayors on the show too. Hey, Mayor, before we let you go, what else is new in Nitro? What's getting you excited in Nitro? What's Joe Stevens and your team got cranking up in Nitro these days?
Well, I'll tell you this. Of course, now we have about $14 million, so City Council's starting to try to determine how it's going to be spent, but we like most cities have a pension problem, a pension deficit, and so we're looking at probably putting about $10 million to our pensions, which will make them, with our plans, should make them fully funded by 2030, which would get rid of a huge liability the city has. So right now, to me, that's the most exciting thing, that this is really a once-in-a-generation lifetime for the city of Nitro to really get its finances in order.
Nitro Mayor Dave Casebolt, always a pleasure to have you on the show, and I appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Dave, thank you.
Dave Casebolt, again, the city of Nitro. He's the mayor, and if you want to read Jeff Jenkins' story, it's posted on the website. He's got that ready to go. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and a pepperoni calzone, all for $21.99. Find your local Huston's for pickup, dine-in, or delivery at HustonsPizza.com. We got several texts to get to, some programming notes as well. Biggly Piggly Wiggly Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. We'll always be here for you.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
Frontier is joining Verizon. New Frontier and Verizon customers can get 6 months of 100% fiber internet on us up to 1 gig by bundling Verizon Mobile and Frontier Fiber. Plus, get 2 mobile lines for $50 per month on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Verizon store to switch. $25 per line after $60 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Eligible new Frontier Fiber plan required. Availability varies. Additional terms apply.
Illinois. The latest in news, talk, and sports when 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Call 304-344-9140 for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:51. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants, helping to identify environmental concerns like asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor quality issues in buildings all across the state. For providing inspections, testing, and accredited lab services you can trust, visit pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know, can hurt you. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Text says on the Secretary Warner, funny how Warner was appointed state director of USDA Rural Development, now being sued by the same administration as Secretary of State. Well, that was going to be, I'll say the interesting thing about that. Kris Warner, of course, is the Secretary of State now. His brother Mac held that position for 2 terms. At one point, and I understand he has now resigned from that office, Mac Warner, former Secretary of State, was working for the Department of Justice. So Kris Warner, as current Secretary of State, could have found himself, and again, Department of Justice has got like 20,000 employees, but they could have found themselves at odds with his brother. And I thought, well, that's going to make for an interesting Thanksgiving dinner. But apparently Mac Warner is no longer working there, from what I understand. Wilson and Meadows are at the Capitol. We'll get to them momentarily. I do want to knock out a couple texts, though. Text says, Trump and MAGA are tanking. Expect the rhetoric around trans people and border security to increase. Socialism will become frequently used word once again. Text says, Shelley Capito getting some federal money to West Virginia, definitely an election cycle for her. She's using that blue state tax money to show she cares about West Virginia. Too bad it only happens once every 6 years. Text says, West Virginia losing coal jobs, West Virginia closing schools, West Virginia cities can't maintain utilities. We're told West Virginia's on its way up and things are getting better. Where's the disconnect from what's happening and what is being said? Texas David sad that our government will drop flags, half-mast for a racist, but won't for fallen soldiers. Text says all states around us deal with rising utilities, dealt with it, but ours didn't. Programming note quickly, I will not be here for the local show tomorrow. I'll be at CAMC Taze Valley bright and early, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for an outpatient procedure related to my cancer. Lord willing, no. I plan on being here at some point on Metro News Midday. Not sure when that will be, even 100% if I'll be here or not. But I'm going to try, mainly because they told me I couldn't do it. So that's the kind of Gavin I am. If not, I'll wuss out and just can't do it. I'll be back on Friday. Dale Cooper, though, will be covering the local show for me tomorrow. Again, I plan on trying to be here at least for some of Metro News Midday tomorrow. Later today, Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me, powered by Salango Law. The folks from the West Virginia Lottery are going to stop by. Wednesday means we introduce you to another wonderful West Virginian. Jeff Jenkins will have the news. TJ will have the latest from the Capitol. Morgan O'Brien, the CEO of Hope Gas, will join us today. Another major announcement from them yesterday, this one from Mason County. Morgan will join us. There's some new polling out as it pertains to West Virginia politics from a group called Red America, Blue America. John Davies is with the group. He'll join us, plus your calls and text on Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barrett and me coming up at noon today, powered by Salango Law. A couple of quick notes here. Today is the anniversary of the Charleston Woolworth fire. On this date, in 1949, 7 firefighters were killed in a fire at the historic Woolworth store in Charleston. A memorial service slated for 10 this morning on the site, which is now around where Rock City Cake Company is. That is happening at 10 this morning. Let us go now to the Capitol and check in with our friends Wilson and Meadows. Good morning, fellers.
Good morning, Dave Allen.
How are you doing?
Doing well. You got really quiet there. We can barely hear you.
Okay. Well, do you want me to stand up and talk louder?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you a quick story because you radio geeks will appreciate this. At one point, I was working at a station, and we were having a little transmission problem, things I don't understand. And the owner of the station, who was a nice, kindly old lady, her and her family owned the station, she said, well, the announcers are just going to have to talk louder. True story. True story.
Get up on the microphone.
What day is it at the Capitol? What's being celebrated there today?
Crossover Day.
Well, I mean, I know that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Well, there are pastries and cupcakes and gnashing of teeth and renting of clothes. It's Crossover Day. Okay. No, today's actually Prevention Day at the Capitol, so you've got a lot of different nonprofit organizations here, a lot of students here with Game Changer in the building as well. So there is quite a bit of buzz in the rotunda today.
All right. And with it being Crossover Day, this is the last day to get those bills out. What are you hearing?
Well, depends on who you ask, Dave.
Well, give me 2 examples.
Okay, so we spent some time with the Senate Whip, this morning. Ben Queen, talked to him for a little bit. There are some bills moving over there. Got some social ramifications to it. There's the cabaret bill on that side of the building. We're keeping an eye. I think TJ has several notifications set for Team West Virginia. That's expected to pass over in the House this morning. And we're keeping an eye on Rayleigh's law. It's up for first reading, TJ. They're going to have to suspend rules to get that out of the House today.
And I think after what we saw in House Education with that debate and how it cleared out of there, I think that will happen. I think it's a clear sign to the Senate. What remains to be seen, Dave, is once it goes over, will the Senate give it an up or down vote? So that's what remains to be seen, Dave Allen.
Well, and I will say this about Rayleigh's law. On its surface, I don't think anybody could possibly be against it. However, I think it's, and I'm not defending it either
contraire.
way. No. I was going to say, here's what I was going to say. On its surface, you read it, you think, okay, how could anybody be against this? I think that some people that have questions about it think that it may be a bit of an overreach. And I've heard, and I've read some comments, some ex-posts from some of the legislators who have said, look, we're not against this in theory, but it's the devil, so to speak, is in the details.
Which is every piece of legislation. That's why I have said continuously, you cannot just out of what you think may be a principled stance say, nope, we're not going to talk about it. Bring it to the floor, talk it out, debate it, offer, if there's something you don't like, offer amendments, and they'll be voted up or down. That's how the process is supposed to work, and you can get a bill that's crafted so it does its intended thing, and you avoid the majority of the unintended consequences there.
I think the other part of this, Dave, is this bill does so little. When you read it, it's 2/3 of a page, and it is not permissive and pertaining to a lot of things. It can only take a surgical approach, and it can only be utilized if a mandatory reporter, so that curtails a lot of people that can make a report right there, a mandatory reporter issues the report, then the process starts. Doesn't affect truancy. If you're pulling the kid out of school or homeschooling them or sending them somewhere else because you suspect abuse from some of the school staff, it doesn't apply there. It is so narrowly tailored, Dave Allen, that folks really need to read it and see what it does and stop focusing on what it does not do, in my humble opinion.
Well, I am going to be keeping a close eye on this adult cabaret thing.
Vested interest, huh?
A vested interest in the adult cabaret thing, because yet again, we have people that, because we've solved all of the rest of the state's problems, everybody's got clean water and everybody's got all the stuff. We're going to crack down on adult entertainment and whatever falls under that category.
You know this business, man, and it's a business. We have an election coming up. We need some red meat if you're far, far, far right, and that's what these things are meant to do.
Your water in Wayne County and McDowell County is still brown, but by God, we shut down the strippers. We're not going to have that. All right.
That's a campaign commercial.
Vote for Dave Allen. All right, no. All right, boys, we'll be listening 10:06. Thanks a lot. All right, Wilson and Meadows coming up from the Capitol at 10:06 with Metro News Talk Line. Our producer is the A-Train, Anthony Hartman. Thank you so much. Again, I will not be here tomorrow. I'll be stretched out on a surgical table somewhere, but hey, you can't keep a semi-good man down, because I'm going to try to come back by the afternoon, certainly on Friday. See you later today on Metro News Midday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.